Hey Gautami. Good.
Hello, Keith.
Hi Mukit. All right. So let's get started. Let me see. I invited to join me to conduct this program. Few of the greatest individual who wants to give back from Capgemini. Right. First of all, I wanted to thank those individuals. And second, I wanted to thank Capgemini who wants to help us with this program. As you all know, we have been doing this program like a pilot with a closed number of people. The reason is because we wanted to build us, we wanted to strengthen the volunteer team who can provide this program. And the first volunteer team that we have on board is from Capgemini, the individuals, as well as, again, thanks to Capgemini for that. So, today's program, what I wanted to do is as usual, right? We'll go through the first 30 minutes about the team updates, and then the remaining 30 minutes we will learn something together. So that's what we are going to do even today. And before we get there, I wanted to see who from Tech Mahindra have joined, right? Sorry, who from Capgemini has joined. So in Capgemini, what I understood is let me make sure I check my WhatsApp. They said if there is any trouble in joining, they will text me. Check if there is any messages. No, no. Okay, good. So we have everyone who wants to join today in the call. Okay, so it's that now I have said that I wanted to introduce those great individuals in this call. Let me see who is there. Surat is in the call from Capgemini. No, he's not here. Maybe he got some meetings. Uh, the next one is Ramanathan. Ramanathan. These are the names that they gave me, the list of people that they could join, right? And Satish, we already saw, he was here. So Satish, would you like to kind of introduce yourself and your expertise to the team? And by the way, Satish will be one of an organizer and the volunteer along with me who will be running this program moving forward, right? Satish, please go ahead, introduce yourself.
Thank you, Kadir. Good evening, everyone. As you all know, my name is Satish. I am part of Capgemini North America Talent Acquisition team. I also mentor people who support North America, Canada, EU, and APAC, people who are based in India. We spread across in Pune, Chennai, Hyderabad, and Bangalore. We are a 55 member team which supports the global recruitment. And I have been with CAP for the last 16 years, so overall 20 years experience in the recruitment function. So, whatever the help which you need from my side in the functional side, definitely happy to help mentor you all what to do, etc. and all. And thanks, Kadir, for driving this Testoper. I heard a lot of great things about it. And as I mentioned the call, I was part of that call which you organized earlier about artificial intelligence, where Anjali was there from Techem.
Mhm.
Impressive one. And I wish you all the best for the group.
Thank you, Satish. We need more of your volunteers so that we can expand this program. This is the first year we are starting this program. So normally when we start a new program, right? So we try to stabilize that by finding the right volunteers and the right initial team. And once we get to that stabilization period, then we actually go and market it big and try to bring in more people and grow this program, right? Just wanted to let you all know those who have joined from Capgemini, that's where this program is. And one more good news is that Brampton recently, it's still not confirmed, but I'll let you know once it is confirmed. They wanted to support this program by supporting us with some tools and some kind of a grant. It's a very small amount, right? But still, they expressed to support us with a grant to use that grant in some of the activities to do marketing and many other things to improve this program to the next level. I just want to make sure that you all understand that. Then let's look at who else. So I want to ask you this, Satish. So your expertise is on HR, right?
Yes, yeah.
Human resource. That's good. And where you can help this team is maybe there's a couple of ways that I see that you can help this team. One thing that you can help this team is to if someone has an idea that solves the problem on HR space, right? because you are in HR and you know there's a lot of problems that happens in the HR, right? And if there is any problem that one of the team wants to solve, that you could really contribute there well by providing them the good inputs as a mentor. And then the second thing that you can also do is in one of our programs in this Friday, I'll invite you to speak for like 15 minutes or to 30 minutes. You can share to the people what a recruiter like you are looking for in a people for before they recruit, right? What kind of a characteristics? If you actually see the people whoever is joined in this call, they are they basically gave up all the fun things that everyone normally does. You see what I mean, Satish?
Yep, yep, yep.
And and they give up all the fun thing everyone does, and they wanted to come together and learn together as a team. So that itself is a unique capability that the team has, right? Now, how do we help this team to learn and grow is up to volunteers like you and me who is running this program. Okay, so probably you can come and give them some kind of a session, how important you to be have the future skills and innovation, how important do you think out of the box, and so on. And so you become eligible to work in companies, big companies like Capgemini and so on. Okay.
Definitely, Kadir. I'll give my inputs. How to move forward if somebody's looking for a career. How to face the interviews, etc. I definitely give some inputs on that. We can talk in detail. Yeah. Thank you.
Perfect. Now let's look at. I think Ram is also joined. When I called for the first time, he wasn't. Ram, would you like to unmute and speak? Yeah. Introduce yourself, Ram.
Hey, hi. Yeah, I'm Ram. I've been working in Capgemini, and I've been here in US for about 7 years. And I'm looking for all kinds of opportunities wherever I can, like you said, volunteer and grow myself and explore opportunities, or help others. Anything that I can, leverage myself uh, to maximum extent.
Really good, Ram. So, what is your expertise, Ram, that team can know about?
Uh, so, you mean the technical skills?
Yeah.
Okay, so
In
my
Capgemini.
background is from .NET,
Sorry.
so I have a good knowledge in SQL, and then have completed some great certification in data science, cloud, and then I have also completed DevOps expert engineer certification. So I've been trying to learn some new skills, keep myself updated with the latest technology, and then I wanted to utilize those skills, in every possible way, wherever it is, it can be applied. So if there is anything else, that I, want to automate, that's one of my key area. I'm expertising in automation.
This is really good. So, team, those who are, just watch out for Ram and reach out to him. And I will also onboard all the Capgemini team into this Microsoft Teams. And you can reach out to them and try to get inputs as a mentor on the technical side, and which can help you to further learn and build your idea into the reality. So that's Ram. Thank you very much, Ram, for joining, and
No
thanks
problem.
for joining from Illinois, right? Illinois. Where are you from, Illinois?
Uh, no, my practice is from Illinois, but I'm actually located in Kentucky.
Kentucky. Okay, okay. Thanks for joining from Kentucky. So you should send us some Kentucky chicken in future.
Right, right.
Awesome, awesome, perfect. Now let's look at who else has joined, right? Okay, Surat, I still don't see. Then let's go on to uh, Tayaba. Tayaba is here? Hi, Tayaba. How are you? Would you like to introduce yourself?
Good, good. How you doing, Kevin? I'm doing really well. It's great to meet everybody on the team.
And you'd like to talk about yourself, what you're good at, where you can help the team?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, it's I'm very thrilled to be here and hear and learn more about your program. So I've been working like Ram in the .NET sphere, uh, SQL Server databases. I I've been around for about 20 some odd years. So some of the older technologies that I have worked with are like the IBM databases, and I know how to spell COBOL. So that's that's how long I've been working with these technologies. But as I'm sure you all see, technology is constantly changing, and the fact that you guys are here and willing to learn and wanting to learn is a strength for yourself. I started with Capgemini about a year ago, and interestingly enough, when I first started, my within the interview, my the person who is now my manager, he asked like, "Oh, you don't have any recent certifications?" And he said, "Well, we'll fix that." So one of the things we did as soon as we started working was start training for whether you're working in the technology or not. He really encouraged us to start training up, like Ram was saying about the new certifications, the .NET certifications. And what really thrilled me about that was the fact that there's so many resources and people willing to help. Everyone wants to see you succeed. They want to help you, and they want to give you ideas of how you can not just do the job that you're doing today, but plan for the future that you want to see out there. So there's a lot of resources out there, and hopefully if I can help with that encouragement, with that matching, finding the right resources, or even coming up with, you guys have the great ideas, and then coming up with the here's possible solutions for implementing your ideas. That's what I'd love to be involved with as well. So very nice meeting everybody.
This is really good. And anyone else from Capgemini? I think 3 of you have joined for today, right? Okay. So what I'm going to ask you is for the Capgemini team in the Microsoft Teams, right? Let me see. Our operations team, did they put this, or maybe it's there before? Let me check. Just give me a second. Okay. Okay, this is the process, right? I'm going to put it in the chat. There is, okay, here you go. So let me also share the screen so it's clear. So if you look at this, we have a closed group, WhatsApp group for Testoper projects, right? And you can click this and join the WhatsApp group, or if you're not comfortable joining the WhatsApp group, you can provide your first name and last name and email address in the chat. Okay, all the Capgemini team and those who have joined newly, if anyone is joined newly in the call today. So what we will be doing is we will be adding you into the Microsoft Teams. So you will have a Teams account, right? You can probably use your official address or personal address. It's totally up to you. So we'll be adding you into the Testoper community channel. And also we will be adding you into the Testoper project channel. And right now we have 3 active projects that the team has come together, and they have formed like 3 teams, and they are working on 3 active projects. So what we are going to do for next 10 to 12 minutes is to hear from this team representative. It's that now, we all have heard from Capgemini and their expertise, right? So we are going to hear from each of your team at a very high level, right? I can just spend a minute or two to tell about what idea you have, talk about your team, how many members you have, and where are you, right? At a very high level, just a couple of minutes. If you give a perspective, that's good enough. And while doing that, you can also share if there is any challenges that you have to the Capgemini team, and then they can always help you guys with that challenge once responses to those challenges once they are in the Microsoft Teams and so on. So all the Capgemini team will be added into all the projects, so they will have the visibility of all the 3 projects. So whatever the help that you need, you can ask them, and they can respond online, offline, to your questions and so on. So now, is it clear for our team, Capgemini team, what to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll add you into the Microsoft Teams, so it becomes easy for you to collaborate. Like, for example, the artificial squad team, they kind of discuss among themselves here. Skilling team, they try to discuss among themselves, and they also have challenges like he's not attending the meeting, all those things are happening. But as you can understand, they discuss about it, and if they have some questions, they might ask, and you can really help them, right, as a organizer. But this particular program will be run by me jointly together with Satish, Tayyaba, as well as from Ram, right? We will be running this program together. And sometimes Capgemini team might have a conflict of meetings because they, in their work, sometimes a customer meeting or something comes up, they may not be able to attend. But once they are in the Microsoft Teams, you can always reach out to them. They will help you, and you can ask them if what time you are available. Maybe have a 15 minutes chat with them to get some ideas and mentorship from them. So that's the idea. Okay. Now let's move on to check. Okay, so let's move on to Sandra. Sandra, do you wanted to kind of open open up about your team and your project at a very high level? So and if there is any challenge that you think it's a pressing challenge for you, so that the team here can know, and especially Sadish in HR can know, so he can go and bring in a lot of people from Canada, Capgemini to help us as well, right? Sandra, floor for you.
Well, we continue meeting on Mondays, and we discuss about the future of the project, especially because we want to focus on technical side also. And we are continue doing the research about what is the best, what are the best steps to continue defining our solution. So we agree with the team that we need to define some steps in the case of the business side, and some steps in the case of the technical side. I mean, we need to investigate more in the case of programming language such as Python. And in the case of the business side, we continue doing the research about the competitors and what is going to be the next step. I think financials, and that's all we are continue working about.
So do you already have an idea, and what is that idea, and how big is your team, Sandra?
Yes, we already have an idea, and our idea is a solution for candidates that want to join the tech industry or want to change their specialization, and we want to help this candidate to match their skills with the actual job offers within job boards websites. So we want to show them what is the gap in their skills, so they can improve what they need to improve.
This is good. And how big is your team you are able to pull together? Is it consistent, all good?
Well, we are a small team, but we decided to keep it small in the case of the business side, because we need people who are very committed and that have time to have the meetings. And in the case of the technical side, we definitely want to have new members, but we want to have a very well-defined requirement, so we can give that requirement to the developers that want to help us.
Okay.
So we want to split the team. I don't know what to, I don't know, I can't find the right word, but we would like to have a small team for the business side and a bigger team when it's time to implement the solution.
Okay, this is really good. So Satish, as you can see, the product what Sandra and their team is trying to build is in your area of expertise. So you could be a great mentor for that particular team to help them to, some ideas on both business side and as well as on the technical side, helping them by bringing in more Capgemini experts to get that implemented or help them to train their technical team to get that implemented or whatever.
Sure, Kaza, definitely happy to help. As we speak, we did connect with multiple resources who are in Canada to help and participate with this program. So maybe in a couple of weeks, you'll see more people joining on this. Yeah.
Much appreciated. All right. So now let's go to Greg. Greg,
Yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. Thanks, Kada. So for me and my team, the idea we're currently working on is called the labor market. We're trying to provide labor market insights. We're looking at current jobs and what future jobs would look like. Part of our research that we're currently working is an ongoing process. Part of the research is to talk about how what's the impact of automation will look like to jobs, the risks associated with these. We're also trying to forecast what the jobs of the future will look like. So that's basically our idea. So in our research, we had to break down our different customer segments, like immigrants coming newly into Canada. We also looked at students, graduating high school, what the jobs of the future will look like to them, since job changes all the time, so that they can study the relevant courses in the university. We looked at career institutes, we looked at employers, we looked at employees. So we looked at a lot of customer segments. So in my team, we decided to focus on one customer segment, then we can start building on this. So we chose at the end of various meetings, we chose to work on the students segment, right? So our customer segment has to do with students graduating high school. So our solution is to provide for them at the high level what the future jobs would look like, so that they can go through following the relevant courses in the university when they are going to the university or to college, as the case may be. So that is what we're currently working on. So where we are currently is working on the survey, because we really need to get feedback from our would-be customers. So we're working on the survey. We started working on that, and we're going to continue tomorrow, hopefully, to refine the survey and think of ways we can distribute it so that it could get to students in high school, maybe to their parents, and to a wider audience, so that we can get feedback and know how to continue on this project. My team is currently composed of 6 team members working together to deliver this project. So the challenge I will talk that we're currently facing is we all these things are new to us. So we're working newly in this project, and as we go along, we're learning and trying to build our skills. And so the challenge will be that we need more experts like to help us refine our business requirements. We'll be needing those mentors. Fan has been helping us with that. So we also need more members that will help us refine our requirements. More members that will also help in the technical aspects. We're also learning new skills as part of our team to help develop our technical skills that will help us bring this project to fruition. So, but we're learning the skills, we're putting heads together to get this done, and we also invite some new members to also join us so that we can deliver this project at the end of the year. So.
Yeah, this is really good. This is really good. So again, we have Ram here, and we have Tayaba here. So please, all 3 of you from Capgemini join the Microsoft Teams and help Greg and his initiative on becoming an intrapreneur and entrepreneur. Looking forward to that. Finn, who is the third team head, is not available. Is anyone else from his team are available today who can represent him?
Okay. Hi, Kader. This is Hetal.
Hey, hey, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you. We are a small team of 5 members, and earlier we started with the idea of skill analysis, but later on we decided to move on something which is helpful for the community. So we landed on an idea which is a platform um, where people can meet like needers and helpers, where people can um, technically buy their time, who have money, and people who need to generate more revenue, they can offer services, for example, like regular household activities like cleaning the house, buying grocery, or childcare, that those kind of things. So we are at the concept stage yet. We have developed a survey last week and circulated it, and this week, maybe tomorrow, we will meet to get the responses and decide if we want to go ahead with the same idea or not.
Perfect, perfect. Now, what I Capgemini team, you got a picture, right, as to what these three teams are trying to do at a very high level, I guess, right? Ram, Satish, and Tayaba.
Yeah, and it sounds like everyone's at a different stage as well, whether it's in the requirement stage right now or more in the actual development. So it sounds like you all have a great way of breaking up your teams too.
Right, right. So now it's time to actually say a couple of things, right? So the idea is to bring people who wants to do, right, outside of everyone else do, and help them to learn end to end of how to become an entrepreneur, how to become an innovator. So that's what this Testoper project is all about. Okay, so that's the first thing that I wanted you all to understand. And now, if you want to become an entrepreneur, there are a few things that you need to learn. And now we are talking about you becoming an entrepreneur in the tech field. So when you wanted to become an entrepreneur in the tech field, you got to learn tech, right? So Testoper has other programs through which you can learn tech, and there are IBM Skill Build we provided through that you can learn tech, and many other places and sources. Now through Capgemini team, with their guidance and inputs, you can learn tech. The second part of that is you have to learn the actual business side of it, right? The entrepreneurship side of it, the innovator side of it, right? So that learning normally happens the second 30 minutes of this call. Now we have jumped into that second 30 minutes of that call. Now I have one request. Now as we start building this volunteer team strong, see, so far I was the only volunteer, right? Now I have Satish with me, Tayaba with me, right? And I'm hoping that many additional people will join me to support this. And that's how this program grows, one step at a time, right? Now, what I have one ask, especially Gautami and all the team members, is if you can think of creating 1 minute or 2 minute video in your phone, right? Say, hey, Testoper project is helping to take someone who do not know anything on entrepreneurship or even anything on tech, and giving them the platform to become an innovator and entrepreneur in the tech industry. Like a couple of words, and you can say, I'm part of this project and I'm working on an idea with the team, and I'm looking forward to become an entrepreneur or something like that. Create some scripts, whatever that you all believe is applicable, and send it to me, so that we can start now. It's that we are starting to build the volunteer team bigger. When the volunteer team gets stabilized, I can start posting that in social media and here and there, and then we can start getting more technical team into this event, and we can take this event to a successful event before end of this year. So that's one of the asks that I have, and I will give it to you, Hetal, you as a lead, because Fian is not here today. Greg and Sandra, if you can just do just it may not have to be a professional one, right? You can just do it with your phone or whatever. Just 1 minute, simple, right? That can really tell the people that what you are trying to get out of this and what you wanted to become, and what is the program, what you are trying to get out of this, what you wanted to become out of this, right? So that would really help me. And once I have the Capgemini team stabilized and volunteer team stabilized in our program, in this program, we can go big in the market, and then we can try to bring more people and grow this 15 to 20 member team into, like, 30-member team, with more people joining and contributing with more ideas and with the existing ideas. Okay, perfect. So I believe now, Satish, Tayaba, and Ram, you could have got the big picture on what Testoper is all about, right? Testoper projects is all about.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, pretty clear. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
And I'm also saying that you will also learn, right? We will learn from you, and you will also learn from us. It's going to be mutual, definitely. And we are
Yeah, definitely, Kaza. The moment you start sharing something, you're gonna learn something from. They're gonna learn something from us, right?
yeah.
It's a two-way. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So now let's jump into our second 30 minutes, which is the learning on the business, right? So I'm going to share my screen. Can you all see it? Can you all see it?
Yes, Carter.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we have learned all these things. As a summary, you all know we are going to learn 4 things, right? Remember, foundational elements, learning about the complete product from the concept all the way to the release and maintenance. That's the second thing we are going to learn. Third thing we are going to learn is the entrepreneurship skills that is required on top of that. And then fourth thing that we are going to learn is technical skills and building the product and delivering an MVP, and learning how to go and talk to investors and so on. These are all the 4 things that we are going to learn throughout throughout this year. Okay, and we have all these different things that we have learned so far. And now where we are is, among these 4 major topic, we are in the foundational elements right now. And in the foundational elements, we have actually covered personal abilities and attribute. We covered these 4 topics, and today what we are going to learn a little bit is finance and keeping score, and making the market your primary focus. We have learned analyzing the industry and competition, and we need to start learning other 4 areas. We will start learning that in the subsequent sessions. And today our focus would be finance keeping score. And once we finish these 4 things that are in the black, that means one major category that we all have learned together successfully. Then we will jump into the product management life cycle, and then we will learn that every stage of product management life cycle, what you need to do, what are all the different tools that are available for you, simple tools, right? This particular session, Testoper project, is not all about putting a lot of tools, techniques, processes on your head. If you actually do that, what happens is your innovation, risk taking goes down, right? You will become more clinical. Oh, did I do this? Yes. Next, what should I do? I do this. X. No, you don't have to become like that clinical, right? You got to think out of the box. You need to be able to take risks. So that's what this intrapreneurship, innovation, and entrepreneurship is all about. That is why whenever I train, I give you a very high level picture of and give some examples, but I don't really push you to do this like a process, but it will give you like a guidance, right? A platform for you to think innovatively and do things innovatively. Just remember that. Okay, so now in the foundational element today, what we are going to learn is finance keeping score. Now let's go to that slide. All these things we have learned together. Okay, analyzing the industry we covered, competition we covered, we talked about decision making yesterday, right? And we kind of, yeah, in our last session. Now today it's just one slide, right? Next 20 minutes just we are going to learn one slide. But what I did was I could have put all those tables inside this slide, but I thought that I'll give you one example. I googled it and I found that this one example is a good example to kind of explain it to you all. But that's why I kind of put this link, and we will be going to this link to learn some of the basics of financial statements. Now, why do we have to learn this? Why do you have to know this? You are not going to become a finance manager or a finance CFO. Your goal as an innovator and entrepreneur is not to know bits and bytes of finance. No, that's not the goal. But you as an entrepreneur, you got to know the basics of it. And why you need to know the basics of it? Because when you are an entrepreneur, there are certain steps that you need to do. A good example is you have to create a business case, right? So even you're creating a business case, some amount of basic knowledge on finance is required. So that is what I'm going to talk today for next 20 minutes. And I will again give you a basics of finance, and you can always go to this link and you can learn a little bit more. But you don't have to be an expert on everything, right? But you got to at least minimum know a few things. And when I say minimum, to my understanding, an entrepreneur should at least know minimum how to read the financial statements. This is very, very important. So now what is a financial statement? So every company, right, whether it is a quarterly or annually, they release the financial statements. The financial statements talks a lot about the company. Right? As an entrepreneur, you need to know. But if you take a step back and if you look at, if you wanted to join a company, okay, a new company, and how do you know you are joining the right company or a wrong company? Right? You can go and always look at their financial statements and look at how they are performing and what they are doing. Is it making money or is it losing money? If it is losing money, maybe the company is big, I will join. If they lose more, they will fire me. Right? I'm just giving you an example, but my intention of teaching the financial statement is not that. My intention of financial statement, helping you to understand financial statement is from the point of view of entrepreneurship. But the point, I believe you get it, right? It's important to, companies, like how as a human, you look healthy is what reflects in your personality, right? Like that, a company's personality is reflected by their financial statements. So now that's what the financial statement at a layman way of explaining it is. Okay, the more financial way of explaining, it's a big definition, and my intention is not to go through that, but that's what it is. Now let's look at an example of this financial statements. Okay, so that link has opened this one. Okay, now what I expect is you can go to any company, like go to Apple and then look in their website, their financial statement. Any public company put their financial statement publicly. So if you want to really become an expert, you can go to Apple, you can go to any company, even you can go to Capgemini, you can go and then you can look at their financial statements to really understand about that particular company, right? But now that's what the financial statement is all about. Now the financial statements, plural, okay, financial statements consist of multiple different statements. Okay, and there are three major financial statements. The first one is called as a balance sheet. Second one is called as an income statement. Sometimes it's also called as profit and loss statement. And the third one is the cash flow statement. You go to any company and you look at it, you will actually see them. So now let's start with the balance sheet. Okay, so what is the balance sheet? The name itself, it's very easy. There is nothing to memorize in this, right? I will try to explain it in a very simpler way. So the balance sheet is nothing but, look at the word balance. What is the balance money that I have in my bank, kind of a thing, right? So that's what is the balance sheet is all about, at a very layman way of telling it. But in reality, a little bit of financial definition is, it basically shows a company's assets. Right? Assets meaning whatever the money that they have in the tangible or non-tangible, right? And liabilities, what they have to give it to others, loans or whatever. And then what assets they have, what liability they have, asset of $100, they have liability of $50. What is the remaining money? Remaining money is the $50, and that $50 is the equity of that company, meaning that company is profitable for $50, right? So that's what is the balance sheet is all about. By name, it goes very simple. What I have, what I need to owe, and what is the remaining, is it positive or negative? If it is positive, you are good. If you are negative, that means you are not in a good shape. You need to take more loans, right? I mean, it not necessarily you are not in a good shape, right? For example, you can have lots of current assets. You have less current assets, and then you can have assets, and then you can have more liabilities, and you are in negative. But you might have an investor who is giving you lots of money, right, to turn this around. So there's multiple things involved. But from the principally, the balance sheet is going to basically tell you what is your balance, what do you have in your company. That's what it is all about. Okay, this is some example. I'm not going to go through line by line, because each line has a meaning and each line has a financial meaning to categorize the cost across all these different lines. So I will leave you to go through this, each of these lines, but my intention in this call is to really explain you what is the balance sheet. So now if you see here, this is a current asset, non-current asset. This is sometimes very detailed way of putting it. Not many companies do it like this. And again, not every companies have the same line items like this, right? Some are common, some they do it, they put it in their own way, and there may be some changes here and there. But the concept wise, right? Asset means what do I have? How much cash I have? How much cash equivalents I have? Do I have, I have given an invoice? Am I waiting for the customers to pay? How much of inventory that I have, and all those things, or the assets. Now, sometimes assets are divided into what is my current asset? What is my non-current asset? Whenever you see current, non-current, or immediate, non-immediate, all these words, it is nothing but these are all the line items that I have, which has these dollar values that I can have cash within less than 1 year in my hand. Right? So like, for example, account receivables, right? So the customer is going to pay me less than 1 year. So that means these are all the money that I have, current asset that I have, that I can use it within 1 year. But some of the things that I cannot use it for 1 year. Sometimes I would have bought security, or sometimes I would have bought infrastructure that is going to be amortized for next 5 years. So you can't really have that money within 1 year, right? So sometimes some companies try to divide that, right? What is my current asset within 1 year? What do I have that I can use? That the assets that I cannot use within 1 year, it takes more than 1 year. So they try to divide it, but that's too much of detail. But then now, you can consider as a simple way of understanding, current asset means what do I have today? Current liability means same thing. Current liability means what I have to pay within 1 year, what I have to pay after 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, whatever. So, but nevertheless, current liability means how much I have to owe. I'll give you an example, right? If you have built a product that has a hardware piece in it and then software piece in it. So you need to buy the hardware from the supplier, and then you have to put the software, and then you have to sell it to your customer. So that means you need cash to buy from that means you have bought from the buyer that hardware. So now what does it mean, right? You probably have to owe that buyer the payment in 30 days or 60 days, whatever the contract that you have with that buyer. So that means within that 30 days, 60 days, you have to sell. Maybe you will plan in your business case in such a way that you sell it, and then you try to have with your customer 30-day payable. So they pay you in 30 days. So you are able to pay back to this guy and then take your profit in your hand, right? So you can think in multiple ways. These are all some of the layman examples that I'm giving. So that's what the current liability is, how much you owe. I have $100, and then $50 I have to give it to someone else. And then remaining $50 that I have is my equity. That's the money that I have. And each shareholder's equity is nothing but the money that the company has earned over the period of years. And they take the shareholder equity, and then from this equity only, they give you the the founders, the equity, shares, and all those kind of things. So in nutshell, a balance sheet is nothing but a document that shows the assets, liabilities, and eventually subtraction of assets and liabilities is going to be the equity of the company. So why it is called shareholders equity of the company? Because individual people own the company, right? That's why shareholders equity of the company. So that's what the balance sheet is all about. Now let's get into, so this will give you, when you look at it in any company, right? This will give you an understanding, okay, how is this company performing? Like, for example, if you're going to join a company in a senior management, right? Like a VP or a CEO or whatever. First thing that you will look at is, okay, first thing they will be offering the CEO and senior executive is they'll offer you, hey, in addition to the salary, you have bonus, and also you have the shares from our company, and you will have X amount of shares. Now, first thing what he will do is he'll go and look at their balance sheet and he'll try to understand, like, you know, how much, what it is and what is the worth of the company and etc. etc. Then some CEO will say, hey, they have lots of, you know, shareholders equity. Let me join this company. Some CEO will say, hey, their shareholder equity is really bad. So let me negotiate with the company to get more shares. So if I'm able to make that company profitable, then I grow big. You see, there's multiple things are involved when you are, you know, that you can think of out of this particular financial statement. Now that's the balance sheet. Now, any questions? Are you guys following me? So far, so good. It's pretty simple and easy, right? $100 minus $50, remaining $50 is the shareholder equity. That's the very high level picture. The details are many, but do you understand that?
Yes, Kader.
Yep.
Awesome. Now let's go into next one, right? Is called as income statement. So this is the second financial statement that every company provides. This gives the financial performance of the company over some time. So the first one gave you how much company has to owe or how much company is profitable, right? That's what the first balance sheet gave you. But this one gives you the performance of the company. I'll give you an example, right? So now how do you determine the performance of a company? It's very simple. How do I determine? Let's take it as a personal one, right? Personal, our life. How do we identify the performance of our individual finances? It's pretty simple, right? How much money I am earning, how much money that I am spending, how much the remaining money that I have. So how much I'm earning, how much I'm spending, how much remaining money I have. Month over month over month, year over year. That is what the income statement name itself says, right? First one is balance, how much balance I have. The second one is income. In sometimes the income statement is also called as profit and loss statement. How much I am you know, earning. Am I making profit or am I making loss? That's what is the income statement is all about. So in the income statement, instead of balance sheet, which you had, you know, the current assets and current liabilities, in income statement you have is how much is the income, how much is the expenditure, and what is the remaining money I have. That's the difference. So you see in this first one, net sales. How much did I sell in my company, right? You are building a product. And how much are you going to sell in a year? How much you are going to earn in a year? And am I break even or am I losing money? Month over, year, right? That is what the income statement is all about. If you see an example here, net sales, this is what I have sold. And cost of sales. See, when you do a sales, there is a cost to it, right? You travel to different places, you go in the car, you put this, and maybe you do, you know, traveling, and you know, there's a lot of things that you do in the cost of sales, right? But whenever they put the cost of sales here, it basically means the cost of goods most of the time. Okay, but nevertheless, the concept is this is the sales that you made, and this is the cost of the sale. That the remaining money that I have is this. So $265,000 approximately is the sale that I made, and in order for me to sell this, I had to spend $163,000. So that means I have $101,000 with me. So this is the actual sales that I made. Now, in order to make the sales, I have to do some operating expenditures, right? Like I have to hire people and I have to do R&D, research and development, which is not cost of sales, right? Cost of sales is any cost that is associated with the sales. Like for example, if you have bought a hardware from a vendor and then you are building a software and then you are selling, right? So the hardware is actually a cost of sales, because if I wanted to sell my product and I'm actually using the hardware that I'm buying from the third party, right? That is going to be the cost of sales, and the salesperson commissions, and there's multiple different things, right? Different people interpret in a different ways, but you get the message. So this is the sale and this is the cost of sale, and 101,000 is my actual sale, right? Gross margin, that's the word they use, gross margin. Okay, then in order to make this, these are all the operating expenditures that I have. I spent on research and development, I spent on administration expenses or whatever it is. Then you subtract this 101,000 with this 30,000 and that becomes your operating income. This is what is your actual operating income, that is before taxes. Now then you end up paying the taxes, and then after paying the taxes, whatever that you have is your net income. So every month, what is the net income? Every year, what is the net income? And you need to really, when you are becoming an innovator, an entrepreneur, you need to really think of, when you're building a business case, you need to think of in the first year, this is how I'm going to sell. And then this is what is going to take money for me to spend. And this is what I'm going to become profitable in the first year, or I'm going to lose in the first year. Second year, maybe I will lose less, I will lose less. And third year, I might become break even. So in 3 years, I become profitable. So my return on investment. So like, for example, if you are a negative, it's a problem, right? If you are a negative, then obviously you don't have a money to run your organization. So what you do is, that's why you go to the investor. The investor gives you money like $100,000, right? And then you do this calculation, and whatever the negative that you have, that is covered by your investor money. And then next year the negative is becoming a little bit smaller, and the third year it becomes zero. Then you don't use your investor money, and then from third year onwards, fourth year onwards, you make more and more profit. You pay back the investors, and then you become profitable over the years. Now when you do this, in the process, what happens? You will buy computers, you will take loans from the investors, you will buy an office space, you will buy, I don't know, whatever that you do, right? However that you are going to spend the money, right? That all becomes here in the first one that I talked about, current assets and liabilities, right? And this is the actual day-to-day kind of a thing that you do, income statement. Is it clear, guys? So you got to remember, in a very simplest term, the balance sheet is, because I am making income, I bought all these different things, so I have so much of asset accumulated over the period of years. And because I bought so many things, right, and I have to pay someone some money because I bought that, and that becomes your liability. And then remaining money is your shareholders' equity. That is your balance sheet. Now the income statement is actually earning money and spending money to earn money is the income statement. So that is how it is. So whatever you make money, through that you build your assets. If you don't make money, you don't build your assets. But the view to look at these two financial statement is different, right? Income statement you look at from the view of, okay, this is what I am selling, this is what I'm I'm spending, this is the money that I have. And now the balance statement is all about bringing every assets and liabilities month over month, year over year, and then showing the complete health of the company is your balance sheet. Okay, so now if you look at income statement, they normally see different companies says income statements are normally every year, and they compare how am I performing from 2017 to 2018, 2018 to 2019, and so on. But balance sheet, if you look at it, right, it will give you at a given point of time what is the company's strength. That's another way of looking at it. So that is what the income statement is all about. Is it all clear to everyone? All good?
Yep.
Okay. Now let's go to the last one, cash flow. This is very, very important. Well, you can make a lot of money, right? And you can make, you can buy a lot of things and you can make a lot of money. All those things are good. If you don't have the cash available in your account every month, how are you going to pay your employees? You might be profitable, like you might have like $5 million to be paid by your customers, and if you tell your customers it's okay, you pay me, I'll give you 1 year time, you pay me before 1 year, and you don't have any other money in your bank, how are you going to pay your employees? You cannot. So you need to work with that person to in such a way that he pays that $1 million in every month, so that there is an income every month. There is a cash inflow every month. There is a cash outflow every month. So you are able to actually run your organization every month. That is what is nothing but cash flow. That is what you actually do in this cash flow statement. The cash flow statement is very, very important. If you don't have a cash flow in your organization, going up and down, outward and inward, you cannot run your organization. You might have a beautiful balance sheet. You might have a beautiful income statement. If you don't plan your cash flow coming in and going out of your organization properly, then you cannot run your organization. As simple as you cannot pay your employees. That is what the cash flow statement is all about. So as you speak, the cash flow is pretty simple, right? What do you need? How much money that I'm going to get? How much money that I'm going to give, right? That's what is the cash flow is all about. Cash flow from operating activities. Like for example, I need to pay salary to this guy, and this particular guy has to pay me invoice. And those are all the operational activities. Cash flow from investment activities. Investment activities are the companies which some of the companies, they buy securities from other companies, right? So those are all the investment activities. So when they do that investment activities, they are giving money to invest. And because they have invested, the investment is coming back to them. So there is an outbound and there is an outflow and there is an inflow. Operating activity, salary, there is an outflow, there is an inflow. Financial activities, some companies have shares and stocks. So some people come and buy the shares and stocks, so money is coming. Some people, the company will try to sell the stock, and they also try to buy the stock. Money is coming and money is going. So anything related to money is coming and money is going, you basically capture everything here, and end of the day, you need to look at it. Is there enough money for you today for this month to pay, to do all these different things? And after paying all these things, do I have more money than what I need? So that's what the cash flow is all about at a very high level. So what I recommend you all is, I have provided the link of this document, and you know where to go and look at this. You know where the document is. It is inside the Testoper projects, files, and business sessions. And click this thing. And little bit, what I wanted you to do this week is that go through this and little bit try to understand on top of what I was explaining. Remember 3 things: balance sheet, current assets, liabilities, and remaining income statement, profit and loss, that how much I am selling, how much I am spending, what is the money remaining. Then the third one is cash flow. Am I getting money every month? Inflow, outflow, am I managing properly so that I'm able to run the company? So that's what is the cash flow. So now if you go and look at an Apple, and if you find out the cash flow is good, and after they spend all the money, they have lots of money, that means they have lots of money in their account. That means in next 1 or 2 years, even if they don't get any income, they have enough money to pay their employees. So that means you as an employee can think, okay, I can stay in this company, I will be getting the salary, right? If the cash flow is not good, same thing, right? If the balance sheet thing is not good, if your income statement is not good, if your cash flow is not good, if the money is not able to bring in enough cash for paying the employees as a salary, they won't be able to pay employees a salary. That's why in some of the startups, if you go, they say, hey, I don't have a cash flow this month. I'm expecting the cash flow next month, and I will pay you guys 2 months salary in the next month, they'll say. Right? So everything is connected. And this is the very basic thing that you need to know if you want to become an innovator and entrepreneur about the financial statement. Take your time to go through this week, the link, and also you Google and go and look at different companies' financial statements, right? Testoper financial statements, you can go and look at, and everyone's financial statements you can go and look at. You will know what is the performance of the company, what are their current assets and liability of the company, do they have enough cash flow to really pay the salaries? This is what you will understand. Now, Understanding all those things, how is it going to help you, is something that we will talk in our next session. Right? Because you need to build this financial model if you wanted to become an intrapreneur and entrepreneur. If you do not build this financial model, if the superior or the investor, you go with an idea in your company, right? And if you cannot convince your superior that this company is going to make money, however good your idea is not going to be helpful. Right? So that means if you want to become an intrapreneur and entrepreneur, you got to really think also from the financial point of view to see how I can build the budgets, how I can assemble the forecast. I'll talk about all these things, bulleted points in our next session. And in order for you to think from all these different things, why it is important for you, the very basic thing you need to understand in the finance is financial statements. So exercise for you all. Go and click this link and read through that, and also go to different companies, download their financial statement, read through that. And then we will talk why it is important for you and some additional things that we will learn in our next session. So did you guys all learn something today?
Yes.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yes.
Perfect. So with that, I wanted to wish you all a very, very happy weekend. Those who are joining the Artificial Intelligence Masterclass, tomorrow, I will see you guys tomorrow in the masterclass. And also we have a couple of programs starting on May. One is on test automation. The tool that you would learn is Playwright. And then the another session that we are going to do is learning Kubernetes and microservices. So that program is starting on May. So I would also welcome you guys to go and look at the Eventbrite and join those programs and learn. All right. So with that, I will let you all go. And special thanks to Capgemini team. Please send your first name, last name, and your email address. We will add you into the Microsoft Teams. Please, collaborate and help the team who wants to learn, and we will go from there.
Sure, Kadir. Thank you so much. Great session. A lot of new concepts. Definitely.
Yeah, as I told you the other day, you will help people to learn, and you will also learn, and we will learn this together, and we will become successful together, right? So that's the thought process. Ram and Tayaba, if you have any final words as the volunteers who's joining me to run this show, please share your final words, and then we can close the session.
It's a great presentation, Kader. You have done a very good job, and I would like you to add this deck to the teams. And we will, like you said, we will get more people. We will also learn, and we'll help other people learn. Let us all grow together.
Thank you very much, Ram. So you talked about teams. So once you are added into the teams, once you know your email address and things like that, this is the channel that we use for this program. And there is a general, and you can go to files. And then inside this, there is a business sessions. And whatever the second 30 minutes we learn from the day one. Since last 3 months, we learn together multiple things. Everything that we learn together are in this presentation, including what I presented today. And all the sessions are recorded and published in the YouTube.
Wonderful.
Okay, perfect. Tayaba, anything else from you?
Thank you so much. It's like Ram was saying. I've also learned a lot, and I really like the details of the whole picture right here. So I put my information, and I'm looking forward to moving forward as well.
Thank you. And let's work together to learn and build this program as very successful program. And if you are able to take someone who does not understand anything about tech and entrepreneurship, and then turn them into a tech entrepreneur, it is not a small achievement. It's a great achievement. And that's what I'm targeting in this program. And I'm looking forward to every one of your support to slowly, one step at a time, right? 10 people, 15 people, 20 people, slowly to enhance this program and help a bigger community in this. Thanks a lot for joining. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you all in our next program. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Kader. Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.